Welcome, citizens, to another exciting adventure of the Real Comic Heroes podcast.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Travis.
And we're here to go over Superman versus the Mole Men.
You keep saying versus.
Oh, isn't it? The hell if I know. Maybe I just assume it's versus because there's
normally
Superman.
It would be. Normally, yeah.
So it's just Superman and Mole Men?
And the Mole Men, yeah.
Oh, and the
yeah.
Mole Men. Like it's his backup singers?
I guess it's like his groupies.
It's like Buddy Holly and the Crickets?
Yeah. This is Superman's band.
Interesting. I have a whole new perspective of this movie.
There you go. Yeah, you were coming at it like, why is Superman beating up these Mole Men?
Wow. All right. Now the movie is not as harsh as I once thought it was.
Okay, good.
Okay. See? You learn something every day.
There you go. All right, so if you listen to our intro episode, you'll know, obviously, we're doing Superman and the Mole Men. We'll be doing audio commentary throughout the movie. We'll come in at the end, do a little bit of ratings and overview and things like that. So, not too much to say ahead of the movie. So, unless you got anything, we can just hit play and...
Yeah, I mean, I guess tell them where we're at when we hit play, and then so everyone's on the same starting point.
Yeah, we are on the Adventures of Superman Season 1 Special Features disc. They included this just as a bonus feature. So we are on the Special Feature menu, and once I hit play, the movie's just going to start. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1. So now we got some planets.
Some weird sparkler thing flying across the screen.
A little flashlight.
It is
There you go. By National Comics Publications, formerly DC.
I saw it said Superman Magazine.
Yeah, they used to call them magazines just because people thought that comics were for kids and magazines were a little more prestigious.
Kind of like graphic novels today.
Yeah. Screenplay, I found this out. Screenplay by Richard Fielding, which is a pseudonym for a team of writers, Robert Maxwell and Whitney Ellsworth, who I found out Robert Maxwell went on to do... he went from this to Adventures of Superman, pretty much did the entire series for like 7 years. And then he also executive produced Lassie. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That kind of fits in later with the movie, I guess.
Yeah. And then Whitney Ellsworth, he was actually like a comic book writer, editor, kind of worked for DC. And in Deadwood, I don't know if you ever watched Deadwood.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, there's a character of Whitney Ellsworth who was named after this guy. So
this part I was thrilled about because I did not want to watch another origin story in a Superman movie.
Yeah. Well,
they just got it over with.
See, I thought that was kind of one of the down...
Really?
Because obviously this is one of the... Obviously the original Superman movie. And so to not do the origin story at all, I thought was a little weird. But I did find out that... when you watch the first episode of the actual TV show, there is a little bit of like on Krypton, Jor-El talking about the planet's going to explode and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I figured that must have been part of the reason. I just didn't know exactly the time frame of the movie versus the show, if it was like in the middle of it or what the deal was.
Now this was like I guess they call them like a backdoor pilot. Like this came out and then a couple of months later it went to series.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this guy with the hat, he really has his pants up really high.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's like a 50s thing where
you're
like, see, buddy, look how high my trousers are.
Those 12-inch zippers.
Yeah.
We've saved so much money on zippers these days. This part was so strange to me. Just didn't understand what they were doing, why they were throwing stuff away,
Yeah, I didn't trust this guy right off the bat.
No, not at all.
I thought he's in cahoots with the Mole Man.
Right.
Something's going on. His brothers, sisters, uncle's a Mole Man or something. He was just acting way too suspicious.
Yeah.
Especially right here, where he's like, man, nobody sees this, huh?
Right.
And the music for this entire movie is pretty standard.
Yeah, that was
50s.
That was a low point. I was really hoping for some good music, but you can't really compare the John Williams Superman score to anything in here, so it's kind of unfair. That's just one of those things I had to get over, and realize that there's no decent music.
I mean, now that you mentioned that it was sort of a pilot, it makes sense because it's more like TV.
Yeah.
Esque music.
So this was kind of weird. There's no big introduction to your main characters. They just hop out of a car and there they are. No.
Must have been a slow news day.
Yeah.
Let's go write a story about a well.
Right. I like her line, I think, coming up about, 6 miles, practically the center of the earth.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, maybe true. I don't know
how
far the center of the earth is, but
I had to look up a couple of her catchphrases or sayings that maybe was 1950s appropriate.
Right.
Like, well, that's just ducky. Found out that kind of is a sarcastic way of saying that everything's fine when it really isn't.
Okay.
So you're kind of like how a duck is calm above water, but their legs are kicking like crazy underneath.
Gotcha.
I had to look it up in Urban Dictionary, oddly enough.
Nice.
I don't really think of that as an urban term, but whatever.
Yeah. I like this old man. He's got crazy eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And his little bag of oranges that he was so excited about. So I guess there's George Reeves as Clark Kent. And
is that Phyllis Coates?
Phyllis Coates, as Lois Lane. And I enjoy them. They've got a little, good chemistry and good on-screen presence, I thought. And George Reeves, he had, just a perfect charm and charisma and just good style, I thought, he plays a good Clark Kent.
Yeah. I found his Clark Kent to be a lot less sort of clumsy and hick-like than the future Clark Kents.
Yeah, there's no... He's so confident.
Yeah.
And I like the little nods to the camera and winks and that kind of thing. That stuff I knew was more in the TV series of, when someone mentions Superman, he kind of gives a little grin and a little wink to the camera kind of stuff. So
I found some of their dialogue was very vaudevillian.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're all fast talking. And
oh, yeah.
Like it seems like they're just waiting for the other person to shut up so they can do their lines. They're
Pretty
not really
much,
acting together. Yeah, everyone kind of sounds like a car salesman, like a used car salesman, you think of in your head.
That old-timey radio
or that
voice. Yeah. So I guess we kind of learned that for some reason they've shut down the mine, or the well, I guess.
And by Superman's not so subtle stare, he sees a story.
Yeah. This I thought was strange that she brought up the idea of going into town, or did he bring it up first? But either way, he tells her to stay put and then says, well, I'm going to go and go to the well. But you stay here for the opposite reason. For those of you keeping track at home, we are 9 minutes and 20 seconds into a Superman movie with no Superman.
Yeah, I had that in my notes. I'm like, this is a Superman movie and not a Clark Kent movie, right?
Look how padded those shoulders are.
Nice.
I like it. Come along.
It's nice to know that Clark Kent has had the same haircut throughout the iteration of the Superman franchise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like 1950s, same hair as 2000s.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What could this be? Coming from the ground.
I love the shooting day for nighttime. You know, I think back then I don't think shooting at nighttime was really an option.
Yeah.
But
I know I was constantly trying to figure out what time of day it was.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Look at that forehead.
This skull cap on the back was so wrinkled up and weirded me
out.
out.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, come on, you can do better
Those
than that.
eyebrows.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure, is he wearing clothes or is he furry?
Oh. See, I thought those were clothes. I just assumed.
They may be. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Now, I couldn't figure out if this was a woman.
Well, yeah.
Because that one, the second mole man has a smaller frame, so I was like, is that a mole woman with the same hairstyle?
Well, I looked up all the mole men. I think there's 4 of them throughout the whole movie. So I've got some details about all of them. But I think the second one, the one you said had a smaller frame. Let's see. I think he is Jerry Marin. And
Jerry could be a girl.
Jerry could be a girl. Could be a girl.
Interesting.
Let's see. Because which one gets shot later?
I think it's the first one.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
Their walk through this whole movie it's like, come on.
Yeah. So the first mole man out of the hole is Billy Curtis, who, let's see, appeared in Wizard of Oz as the Munchkin father. He was also after the kind of the tragic events towards the end of the Superman series with George Reeves, DC and Warner's were kind of scrambling to figure out, what are we going to do to salvage, this character and everything. So they created a Adventures of Super Pup show and basically did all the characters as dogs. Wow. And so that first mole man played Bark Bent, Super Pup. Bent. So, and you can imagine the other names. Oh, so Bent. Terrible. But he became Superman, kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know Bark Bent seems like it's like a parody of a adult variety for Clark Kent.
Yeah, I mean it was all the names were derivative of like dog themed.
Bark Bent.
So I like the total lack of concern for the crime scene. And
I think my note on Lois's reaction was, "Damn, she's cold."
Yeah,
she's like, "He was old. Old people die.
Old people die. That's what happens. Get over it."
Like neither of them could care less that there's a corpse in the room with them,
right? Well, I mean, she's tough as nails. She's not scared to be in a wooden shack with a dead man.
Yeah. Tough as nails, you say?
Oh. Nice. She's got a good scream.
Yeah.
Good reaction, too. I do like her performance here.
I like the mole men.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Film's first peeping toms.
Oh, yeah.
Phones were so old.
Oh, yeah.
Like you were saying, it makes me think of Lassie because they're dealing with a well.
Yeah.
They're talking to an operator that's actually moving cables around and connecting people.
Nice.
See, I did not understand. When I saw them, I did not think they had the bodies of moles.
No, well, of course not. But
I was like, yeah, they got hairy hands, but maybe, they just touch themselves
just
too much or
hairy
something.
Little guys.
Yeah. That, and I assumed that they were wearing clothes and not fur bodies.
So I couldn't tell what they were doing.
I also thought their eyes would be like bigger or darker.
I mean, today, if you make Superman and the Mole Men today, sure, you'd have a fully CGI little mole creatures and
like give them like big dark glasses or something.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Big goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd still be cheesy looking, but
I
just thought it would. I don't know. Anytime I think Mole Men, I think Sensitive Delight.
Right.
Which is why I was trying to figure out what time of day it was during this whole movie.
Yeah. I like this old sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
Still kind of that Old West feel.
Yeah, my favorite character still yet to appear yet.
Okay. So. Oh, I know who your favorite character is.
As they would say, he's a real peach.
Oh, yeah.
Don't mean to be pushy there, Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay if you give me a ride and maybe give me a kiss goodnight.
Share that cigarette with you.
Yeah.
I thought this was strange. Strange opportunity to pump this guy for information.
At one point, this guy in the hat sounded like he was like a old-time gangster.
Well, and at one point, I forgot and thought he was a sheriff, just because he looks like a sheriff. He doesn't look like a company man, you know.
Well, you know,
so I forgot that he was with the well.
That's obviously a Wellman's uniform.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, come on.
My mistake.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah. Got that done.
If you say so. All right. Let me show you this. I like their exact measurements.
Yeah.
When they were drilling and talking about the different depths, and no man's gone past this.
Right.
I meant to look in to see how accurate that
I
was.
did too, especially with her comment of the 6 miles and all that. So
obviously, 6 miles isn't going to get you to the center of the earth, but
yeah.
That, and I thought of Armageddon.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of could be a good effect. I don't know. Did they just put little skinny light bulbs in these tubes?
Hot as a fireman's helmet.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now it's just a light they're shining on them to make.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the tubes themselves, I could see that. Maybe just throwing a light in there. Oh my god.
Diabolical.
Yes, there could have been a pocket of open space in the earth, maybe?
Sure.
Like a magma
Cavern?
chamber? I just like how he jumps to, it must be hollow.
Right. Oh, yeah. You're saying the earth is hollow?
What other possible explanation could there be?
I mean, I think in the 50s they had a concept of what was at the center of the earth.
Well, I mean, they were, after World War II, so they've already dropped an atomic bomb, so
yeah.
I think their science is pretty good at this point.
Yeah. See, this guy's watchable. It's easy to get sucked into just listening to him.
Like how everyone's just so calm about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these weird radioactive mole men coming out of the earth. Let's go see what that phone ring is.
Yeah. Worry about that later. So the second mole man that came out of the hole is that's the one that's Jerry Marin, who is still alive. I thought it was the glowing oranges. Nice.
They use that effect a lot.
Yes, yes. So yeah, the littler one here, still alive, is the last surviving cast member from Wizard of Oz, which was 1939.
Jeez. Holy cow.
And he's kind of famous. He's the munchkin that gives Dorothy the lollipop. And most of his roles, like he's been in a lot of stuff. Planet of the Apes, Spaceballs, Seinfeld. But most of his credits that I found are credited as midget. And actually most of the other two guys, pretty much all their credits throughout the years were either uncredited or uncredited midget. So I thought that was a little surprising, but I guess back in the day you'd get away with that kind of stuff. So
at least they got credited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this movie they're uncredited.
Really?
You're in the title as Mole Men, and they don't even credit all four of these guys.
Wow.
I thought it was kind of shocking.
It's unfortunate their domes are so huge.
Yeah.
They have no chance of pulling off a comb over whatsoever.
That one's rocking some pretty sick sideburns.
Yeah, he's got some chops. I didn't notice that before. And their eyebrows, I kept thinking of, what's that guy from 60 Minutes, Andy Rooney?
Oh, okay.
With the gigantic eyebrows.
Yeah.
I kept thinking of that. The ferocious snake.
You know that snake's being pulled by a fishing wire. You know there's no standards for animal.
Yeah. I don't think they had a snake wrangler on the set. Okay. This part made me think of Young Frankenstein, which probably came from the original Frankenstein, where the monster meets the little girl.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I thought of as soon as I saw this.
This part creeped me out.
Yeah.
Because they cut away. They just show them leering into this room. And then they cut away.
And they're like crawling in.
Oh, God. It was so creepy.
I'm just like, this girl has the worst parents. Stranger danger much? Jeez.
And again, we're 23 minutes in the movie. There's no Superman.
I know. I think this is about the point where I was like, come on, Superman.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And one thing I found out that they later recut this movie and made it a 2-part episode in season 1. So that means your first episode, part 1 of this 2-parter, you have no Superman because we're halfway through it.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't seen Superman once, so that's a boring 2-parter, you know.
Yeah.
Is Luke your favorite character? I think his name's Luke.
Luke Benson.
Luke Benson.
The man with the plan.
Just shoot everything.
I'll talk more to it once Superman finally gets in, but I got some things to say about this guy.
All right.
Clark Kent's a pretty progressive dude.
Yeah, but
look, let's all understand each other. I mean, granted, he's an alien. But
no, I do like his outlook with let's give them a chance. They haven't harmed anybody.
He's like, knock it off, you damn humans and your hatred.
Well, I think it's definitely, this movie is definitely in that time of McCarthyism.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely that Cold War and anti-communism and all that stuff that. I may just be a newsman, but I'm going to fix this whole situation.
Okay, those are obviously clothes. There's a collar.
Oh no, they're definitely clothes, but are they meant to
intended,
be
I gotcha.
fur or clothes? Yeah.
It's good they got seams. I can't forgive them.
Right.
See, this is the part I got confused on. I'm like,
okay,
they don't know what a ball is, but they could fashion clothing. But now I'm questioning that if it is considered clothing.
That's a good point.
And they're underground. There's probably a crap ton of rocks down there you can roll around.
Yeah, but they can fashion weaponry.
Yeah.
We'll learn that. Spoilers.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I was like... And obviously they can cut hair. Otherwise they'd have some sick skull that's going on.
Yeah. Unless it just grows in all white trashy like that.
Yeah.
I like the mom comes in looking straight up.
I like that you can hear her from across town.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm like, damn, because these people go on a hike.
Right.
Even Superman has to freaking get on his jets to get to where that lady is. I'll just hang back here.
I know this look.
I know. I was like, wait, he can't go in a phone booth. Do those even exist yet?
Right. I do like that it's essentially it's the first time you've seen Superman on screen. Except they did do some serials that came out before this.
Take the barber pole.
Yeah. But I like that they don't make a big deal about him turning into Superman. It's just established that he is Superman, and it just happens.
I thought this was a pretty impressive shot for the time. They had it on like some kind of dolly system up high. I mean, it's not...
I kept expecting him to shoot like a shot of his face with the wind blowing through his hair, that kind, keep cutting between.
That, and it's assuming he's flying backwards, but other than that...
I like every time he lands, he kind of looks back at the camera. Got to get that like hero shot of, I just pulled off a cool landing. And
the takeoff wasn't bad. I thought it was going to be the trampoline effect.
Yeah.
But
effect-wise, no, I thought it cuts away really well. And even when he landed, I thought it looked pretty good.
The noise is kind of off-putting, but it's like whoosh.
Yeah, the wind.
Whoa, totally just bent that guy in.
Now, have these guys seen Superman before? Do they know who he is? They
must not. Because I like his front wedgie.
Yeah.
I like how none of this has any effect on the people.
At all.
They're just like, screw this guy.
Yeah. We're still going to run around like dicks, but...
It's like, sure, he bent a rifle with his bare hands. I'm going to punch him now.
It is weird. Like, they just all go their separate ways, and they're... out to do these guys harm.
I mean, I know social media wasn't around, so maybe not everybody knows Superman, but some of the people in this world seem to know who Superman is.
Yeah, but then a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I think, who is it later that says something about not believing that he even existed, I think, or one of the doctors maybe.
I think he's Santa Claus.
Yeah. Luke Benson.
He's got a back in a piece. Indignant anger.
Mm-hmm. I like the way the cape just kind of droops in the back.
I was trying to figure out if he's wearing a girdle.
It must be.
Because some weird lines in the costume.
I think it's got to be.
Superman, it ain't so.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's going to have shoulder pads, why not give him some ab pads or something?
I do like the look of that S, though. It's kind of a classic shape. I don't know. You don't see that shape of the Superman symbol very often, but I kind of like it.
So keep your mouth shut, woman.
You know what's good for you. I do kind of like his reasoning. Like he's very.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense. He
He sounds like the government.
Yeah.
Can't tell people aliens exist. There'd be chaos in the streets.
But I found it kind of interesting that one of his moves is take away people's guns, and then the next move is to silence the media.
Yeah. I like how the guy in the middle is just like searching for him.
Yeah.
He's like looking back and forth. I like the obvious box around there.
See, the first time I watched this was on my iPad, so I didn't see it as big as we're watching it now. And now I look at this dam or this well or wall or whatever it is, and it's so, like, you can tell it's hand-drawn. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it fooled me the first time I watched it, you know.
I mean, I've seen that effect even in, like, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I've seen that weird boxed-in effect of the Santa sleigh flying through the sky. You can tell the box is there in the sky. So,
but I just mean the actual, like, wall that they're on was...
Look at that dam.
Yeah.
Ferocious waters. Ninja skill right there.
Yeah.
That was quick.
That was impressive. Where'd they go?
The power of a mole.
Yeah, and I like this. Why do you drop your light beam?
I know.
To underneath the wall, the edge. This was pretty slick.
I don't know why I don't keep running. Why are they just like going back and forth?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can hear Superman coming.
The Superman pose.
Yeah.
I always think he looks like a teapot. Nice double.
So
look at this. Oh, my bullets don't work.
Yeah.
Pistol whipping sure don't work.
I'm trying to hit you.
Oh. And the best effect is about to happen.
Oh yeah, this was good.
It's like
the brief animated Superman you get. Oh, and catching the complete dummy. Yeah, that was good.
Look at him props on the dummy catch.
Well, I guess in the Superman serials that would have come out before all this, anytime that Superman flew, they animated it 100%. So all the flying scenes were all cartoon, and then it would cut back to probably him landing and go back to live action. So at least they did it just a brief. Did it pretty sparingly, so that was good.
Would have been cooler in claymation.
Oh, here we go. The 20-minute chase scene.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
This was rough. I mean, it was. I will say, it's exciting, and it is like. I thought it was pretty intense because I don't know. I spent this whole chase scene waiting for Superman to come back to get this guy. I
was like,
I guess
you can fly around the world
right
in like no time, but you can't get back to this little tiny mole man.
And maybe that hadn't been. Maybe Superman's speed hadn't really been touched on too much at this point, like because he goes to take the little guy to the doctor, and then just leaves this dude out on his own. So, and he does a pretty good job of really like taking care of himself for a little while. The
part that bugged me was the fact that if you're gonna be a mole man, can't you dig?
There you go.
He's
not very resourceful with his mole abilities.
No, it's like he just has this giant dome and some hairy hands. And if you're going to have that, you want to have at least some digging ability.
Right.
It's a lot of back and forth between the chase team and him.
Yeah.
He's running, then stopping, then looking.
Right. And
they stop.
Yeah, this is what they cut a lot out of when they split it up into a two-part episode. Yeah. They cut a lot of the chase out, which maybe they should have done for the movie. But I like his performance. I mean, he looks terrified.
Yeah.
This was strange. I
know. Random desert hobo.
Yeah.
Cooking beans.
His rope belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what this guy was in here for.
See, right here, I couldn't tell if it was a full mask. Or if,
what do you mean?
Like, it looked like the face was even a mask.
Yeah.
Because, like, the mouth is just, like, stuck in that same position.
Right. He's probably just worn out from running around the mountains. The double take. Yeah. Spit take.
Well, you know, if it's like 20 minutes on film, it was probably like 2 days in real life when they were shooting it.
Well, and they shot the entire movie over 12 days.
Really?
So they were moving pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I guess back then it was just the studios wanted to pump them out as quickly and cheaply as possible, I'm guessing. Especially for something like this topic.
Right.
You know, it wasn't a grand epic.
Yeah.
I mean, was it geared? Because I would think it'd be geared towards kids.
And I thought that too, and I thought, this is getting pretty intense for kids.
Especially coming up. It gets pretty,
oh my God.
Pretty hardcore.
Yeah. It shocked me where it goes.
Yeah.
I
guess kids back then were tougher.
Yeah, I don't know. It was...
I am a conehead.
We are from France. Oh my God. Have you watched that in the last couple of years? I mean...
I watched the movie.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Amanda and I watched the movie probably last year. And, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, this chase is still going.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, this dude lives underground. He can run pretty good.
Yeah.
And here, I thought he was going to die, but
yeah,
that's good agony right there.
It's great. No, his facial performance.
But bam, he's right up again.
Yeah. They do a great job.
What was he doing in that brush? He'll turn into a mole man if you touch that glowing.
Ooh, that would have been good.
Grass.
Where mole?
Where mole? There mole. Sorry for that. Oh. Okay, mole strength, activate. See, that looks like a mask, like a full front mask.
Kinda.
I don't know.
He's got a pretty distinct facial
features.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's just I couldn't figure it out throughout the movie. I was
right.
Just
yeah. But he's got plenty of makeup on his forehead and everything. He knows someone's holding this dog.
That dog can fly. It's his buddy that plays or is he the one that plays Super Dog or whatever you call it? Bark Bent.
It was the buddy that played Bark Bent.
Okay. So is this the inspiration?
Yeah, it was the guy that got shot. Okay. Played Bark Bent. That's Billy Curtis.
But that dog's a real dog, right? That's not.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Man, that dude looks wrecked.
Oh yeah.
Older guy. This is where it gets hardcore. As soon as you started doing this, I'm like, oh nuts. No.
Like, holy shit, they're gonna burn this little dude alive.
Like cold-blooded. Like, he looked generally worried right there.
No, I am. At this point, I'm thinking
he's the best actor in the movie. Facial features
by far.
Everyone else is like deadpan, just reading lines.
Yeah. No, but like you said, at this point, you'd kind of think, well, he's screwed. To me, it was easy to forget I'm watching a Superman movie. So then when I realized that, I think, oh, well, Superman's going to be back any minute now and save this kid.
Hey, spoilers.
Well, no, I mean...
He could still save him. Come on.
Yeah. I guess I'm assuming everyone's watched it by now.
This fire lasts for only 20 minutes.
It's intense.
It's like that face.
Yeah. He doesn't yet realize there's flames. There we go.
Like, there's this blazing inferno, but inside it's smoke-free pretty much.
That was... A little bit of a stretch, but I get why they did it, but it's still one of those weird, why stretch it out so long? Why not?
Well, I thought he was going to dig his way out.
I did too.
I thought this was his moment to use the power.
Yeah.
Because they could easily fake that by, just having, a trap door under there or something.
Yeah, if I'm a parent, I'm like really second guessing like bringing kids to this, to this movie.
But now that I'm thinking about it, like Lassie, I felt like everyone was burning alive in a barn at some point.
You think so?
Like, maybe. Timmy's stuck in a barn. It's on fire. I don't know. I feel like it was more common maybe back then.
Could be, maybe.
But like the way that they're going about it, like intentionally doing it.
Yeah.
It's like...
Because those flames are right behind him right there.
Yeah, I saw it. I think it hit his hand.
Yeah.
And he went like, yeesh.
I mean, where the hell is Superman?
Yeah. Where's that weird flying guy?
Yeah, I saw him for half a second. He carried my buddy away. I mean...
I wonder if they have fire in the center of the earth. Because he seems to be genuinely confused by it.
Kinda. Maybe if I get off of the board.
See? I thought here's where he was going to dig.
Yeah.
Not just,
just slip out.
Slip out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in 1950, when you're making this, or early 51, special effects wise, you don't have a lot to work with, so your big threat has to be fire or guns, or
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of what you got to work with. But turn up the oxygen here.
Yeah.
No, I was really impressed though at this point, thinking this little dude got out of this scrap completely on his own. So I was impressed. It was once the shock, of Superman not saving him, kind of weared away. That.
Well, I mean, the Superman count so far is like 5 whole minutes.
Yeah.
And how far are we into this thing?
Right. We are 42 and a half minutes.
Out of a 58-minute movie.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So we've seen Superman once, a couple good long scene with him. I mean, this guy, he's the star of the show.
Ah, the limp.
Yeah.
But now he's back to his creepy nighttime walk.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. He's like, screw this place. I'm out of here.
This guy will leave a man behind.
Every mole for himself.
Yeah. The code of the mole. I like these guys. Just
lounging around.
Just sitting around.
These monsters on the loose.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm going to smoke this cigarette and write to my girlfriend with this pen.
Hi, Kitty. We're joined by Silent Bob.
Not so silent Bob.
Not so silent Bob.
Daniel Superman.
Oh, this is good.
He sounds so I sure would like to see him fly.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's a little kid or something.
Yeah.
It's so thrilled to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Like, well, whatever. Here comes bad news.
Go.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke Benson.
I think I wrote down Luke Benson's got big ones.
Oh,
he just walks into the sheriff's office.
The good old days where you could draw a gun on a sheriff.
Yeah. No, this guy's got no respect for law, Superman.
Round up the posse.
Yeah.
This guy's pretty good, though.
He just has, like... He's just so the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no likability whatsoever.
Yeah. He's not going to listen. He's going to do it his own way.
I like how he pulls the gun out with a flourish.
Yeah.
He's like, look what I got. Let's see, there's a gun, see? It's like, oh, well, that's Luke Benson for you.
Yeah, Luke being Luke.
Yep. The impotent sheriff.
Yeah. That man in the costume.
Superman.
Yeah, you know.
Dog hospital. This isn't a vet, I think he means to say. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they had those back then.
Probably.
I don't think I want a guy running a hospital that says dog hospital.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Everything had to be radioactive back then.
Holy lead fast, Superman.
Yeah, I do wonder if Robin got some of his language from this movie.
I don't know. I think just from the time.
Like the Adam West Robin.
Right.
Can't remember his name.
Oh, Burt Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of the drunk prospector from Blazing Saddles.
He just punches the sheriff in the face.
Just punches him right in the face.
And the town people are like, "Hey, get this guy out of here."
That's just Luke being Luke. Them Luke boys. I like that Clark assists with the surgery.
Oh yeah.
This guy can do everything. The show does an interesting job of telling and not showing. You know, they don't... you cut away when Superman takes the mole man to the hospital. You cut away when he goes in for surgery.
Outfit.
I love that. I brought, or that is Superman brought.
He like smirks.
I love the smirk. See, he plays it really well. But
why, nothing, Lois.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Wink, wink.
No, she's great though. She may be my favorite Lois Lane so far. And she's still alive. She's 88.
Wow.
She's got over 140 credits, just on IMDb. Worked a lot in the 40s to late 60s. And then in the Lois and Clark TV show with Dean Cain, she played Terry Hatcher's Lois Lane. She played her mother in an episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't Terry Hatcher do that for Smallville?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. There's three of them. Three of them have done that. It was, let's see, Phyllis Coates plays Terry Hatcher's mother. Lois Maxwell, who does the Lois in the TV version of this, she played Lois's mother in the Superman movie, like a brief little scene on the train. And then so Terry Hatcher then played, like you said, Lois's mother in Smallville. So it's kind of a tradition of the an older Lois playing the mother of Lois. It's kind of cool.
I say Lois had a pretty mean right hook.
Yeah, no, she's tough.
string you up.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about right there. Seriously, does anybody remember he bent a gun and got shot multiple times?
It's amazing. No one has any like fear.
No. It's like, so what?
Yeah.
Decent effect.
Yeah. Good reaction.
When that happened, I assumed he was going to catch it.
Oh, yeah, that would have been kind of good.
I think he enjoys that.
Well, yeah, until this
is awesome.
Yeah, this was good.
That one guy looks like he's going to hand him his gun. Like, yeah, I'll show you. Here you go.
The crazy thing about the whole, like, showing him get shot and everything and the smile is later on in the series. Did you hear about this? A kid brought a gun to an appearance. Like George Reeves was putting on like a, probably like some kind of appearance in costume and everything. This kid brings his dad's gun because he thinks, well, I'm going to see if he's really bulletproof. So George Reeves has to talk the kid down, to hand him the gun, and basically he had to convince him, well, if you shoot me, it might bounce off of me and hit someone else, So he's
smooth.
But that's intense. I mean, that's a dark thing to go through, And definitely, if for everyone watching this, definitely go out and watch Hollywoodland, because Ben Affleck portrays George Reeves and does a really, really good job. And they even do that scene that I was just talking about, the kid with the gun. Yeah, it's a pretty intense moment.
Now this reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, with their fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Which is actually, I found out, was actually a vacuum cleaner, basically, with some extra stuff kind of attached.
Now, I watched this on a smaller screen, too, at first, and I swear I thought the guy on the left was Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a relative of.
Right there, he does kind of look like him, doesn't he? He was the one, I could only find a couple roles for him, but he was in Wizard of Oz as well.
I guess there weren't too many movies for him.
Not really. I mean, well, that's the thing. These guys worked a lot of TV shows, a lot of old movies and things like that. But so many of them went uncredited, or just a lot of like Midget or Munchkin.
Yeah. I like his reaction.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, like behind this wall, they have a space cleaner."
The guy, the one that's actually holding the weapon, that's Johnny Roventini, who. He's kind of famous. He became the Philip Morris spokesperson, or not spokesperson, but more mascot, because they did a big campaign with he was a bellboy in New York. Some ad man spotted him, liked his voice. He had a really high pitched voice, and they did this huge campaign. It was like call for Philip Morris. It was all over the place, I guess, but. I like their interaction here. This is a good standoff, good part of the movie.
This is when I realized how small they were.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Can they not talk to each other? That's the part that confused me. It's like, I understand they're doing it for him, but it's like they only know how to play charades as their form of communication.
Maybe they figure if they're living at the center of the earth, there's not.
They communicate through
just
vibration.
Communication's different. Yeah, I don't know. I left him out there with that dangerous weapon. Yes. I do like his optimism. He definitely just has faith that nothing's going to happen, nothing can go wrong, and it's going to work out just fine. So I do appreciate that they really emphasize that portrayal of Superman.
He's sort of the embodiment of the idea of America.
Right.
Yeah. Inclusion, even though it was the 50s and that was still being worked on.
Yeah, and they really don't overblow any of... aside from the beginning, they show an American flag, I think.
Yeah.
But they really don't play it up too much in this.
Nice. I like that effect.
I do too. Because it's kind of arcing over the fence.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a laser beam that just goes... No, this totally works. He's just getting bombarded with cancer right now. You know that.
I was like, how many shots does it take to take this dude down? What a horrible weapon.
I mean, they shortened that dude's lifespan, I
was like, I thought it was going to turn him into a mole man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to teach him a lesson.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah. No, you are like one of us.
Yeah.
And people will hang you now.
Yeah.
Except they'll have to mime that somehow. I like how the one guy was like the kickstand for the gun.
Yeah, I do too. I love this line. Just
more than you deserve.
More than you deserve. Yeah, that was a...
Well, yeah, he's been a total douche the whole movie.
Yeah.
I had looked at the director for this one. It had to look it up. His name was Lee Sholem.
Yeah.
Also known as Rollum Sholem.
Roland Sholem?
Rollum.
Rollum Sholem?
Like, roll
that was his
the
nickname?
footage, I guess.
Okay.
I thought that was a pretty awesome nickname.
Yeah.
Rollum Sholem.
That's pretty good.
He directed some Tarzan movies.
Okay.
And a movie called The Doomsday Machine.
Nice.
Which I've heard about in passing through other podcasts and stuff.
Concept, the Doomsday Machine.
Yeah, and it sort of tied in with Superman with Doomsday.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the first thing that clicked in just because I was watching.
Yeah. The only other real big thing I could see that George Reeves really did, he was in, what's that movie called now? Gone with the Wind. He was
that movie.
Oh, that little picture.
That little independent film.
Yeah, and then he did some kind of war movies, but really got his big...
That was awesome.
Yeah, I did like that.
Because when Superman closed the lid, I was like, dude, you can't do something more than just close the door.
Right. I kind of thought they'd do some heat vision, maybe weld the thing shut or melt the whole thing.
I was like, bury that thing.
Yeah.
But they took care of it in a hardcore way.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, humans are screwed up. We're going to bury ourselves back in our hole. It's like, sure, we got giant heads and hairy hands, but you guys are freaks.
It's a pretty solemn ending. I kind of like it. It just goes out on a pretty decent note, I thought. Kind of, again, going back to the mood of the era, the whole, again, McCarthyism and kind of being afraid of the unknown, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's still talked about today.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Want to get into what we thought?
Yeah, for sure.
You want to do like a star rating, or
we could start with a star rating. We could talk about whether or not it holds up, kind of first, and maybe then do a rating after that. I don't know. I do kind of want to talk about George Reeves a little bit, just in case people don't know kind of what happens with him,
Yeah, if you want to go into that.
Okay.
A little history lesson.
Yeah. So, he goes on to do the Adventures of Superman TV series. It runs from 50. Well, this came out in 51, and then the series ran, until 58, 59. And so he was kind of looking for roles and had a hard time finding other work because he was Superman.
Yeah, so typecast.
Very typecast. And the way that they shot the series, they kind of never knew if they were going to get picked back up. And when they would finish part of a season, they'd tell them that, okay, you're basically on call for the next 30 days. So you have to be available, So he could never really accept other work because he never knew if he was going to be available. So again, it really just pressured him and put him into this tight spot of only being Superman and only, So it took a toll on him, and
Yeah, I don't. It may have been hard for directors to say, let's take this guy that was Superman, this kid's book. Character, and try to make him in this serious role.
Right.
They think of him as like a joke, kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably was part of it.
It wasn't like today where Robert Downey Jr.'s resurrected his career because of a comic book movie.
Right.
It's probably the reverse.
Yeah.
A little stigma.
So on June 16th, 1959, officially George Reeves committed suicide by a gunshot to the head. I do say officially because it's kind of one of the oldest unsolved Hollywood, maybe not unsolved, but
it's had some rumored mystery behind.
Yeah, just very mysterious,
suspicious,
very
circumstances.
Suspicious. Yeah. Part of it was, or some of the controversy was the positioning of the body in relation to the spent bullet, or the spent bullet casing, was laying underneath of him, or partially underneath him. So how could he shoot himself and the casing go underneath his body, that kind of thing.
Well, he was Superman, faster than a bullet.
So there you go. Well, not that day.
Yeah.
There was where the bullet, I think, went through, kind of through and through, and then where it was lodged in the wall in relation to where his body was, again, just kind of makes the shot kind of impossible, and just things like that. Normally, if you're pressing a gun up against your head, there's evidence of that, and there wasn't in this case. And then in his personal life, he was kind of having an affair with the wife of the man who ran MGM Studios. So it was kind of
awkward,
yeah. And then he broke it off with her. Her name was Toni Mannix. And George Reeves kind of broke it off with her, and they say that she didn't take that very well. So you got her, then you have George Reeves' at the time current fiance. Her name was Lenore Lemon, and she was actually upstairs at the house, where he died. They had a kind of late night party, and she happened to be upstairs where it happened. And all the other partygoers were downstairs. So you have someone who was upstairs with them. There could have been a kind of a scuffle with a gun. Maybe something like that happened. Or a lot of people think it was this Toni Mannix, or it was her husband, E.J. Mannix. So it's just really weird. Or again, it could have been him. He was depressed and didn't have a very easy life. So
wasn't he in his 40s when he did this? Or?
He was the oldest person so far to have played Superman. He was 47, I think.
So he was fairly young when he decided to possibly end his own life.
Yeah. So it's just, I
kind of like that older Superman.
Mm-hmm. No, he plays it very, very confident, and it's different. Now you kind of think, well, you need someone kind of young that's full of life and that kind of thing. But I kind of like the experience and the
the same with
wisdom.
The Batman, like the older grizzled vet version. Because I feel like the Superman movies now are more newbie Superman, and he's like figuring things out still and kind of angsty.
Yeah, I kind of like
still getting over his daddy issues.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of excited about the Batman v Superman. You got a Batman who is experienced. He's been doing this for a while. He's a veteran. We don't need to see the young guy starting as Batman. Yeah,
it's more like the animated version of Batman.
Yeah, he's just established and has been doing it for years. Yeah, and I do like that, and I'm excited to see Ben Affleck as Batman. But
Batfleck, as they say.
Yeah, but we'll get there eventually. By the time that movie comes out, hopefully we'll have been doing this for a couple of years. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we've got something like 200 movies in our list of movies to cover, so it'll be a while. But so let's see, what else? Does it hold up?
I mean, obviously it doesn't hold up to today's standards, but I think for the time, it was probably pretty good considering it was more TV piloty.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at other movies from that year, and we had like The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, that's the one I found. Yeah,
I was trying to think of a comparable.
Yeah, and
sci-fi,
very similar in theme. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got someone from outside that the citizens don't take very well. So I think he gets shot in that as well. So it's very similar. Like, outsider gets shot by people who don't understand and fear, and then I'm trying to remember what happens. The other aliens come and kind of
I mean, I think the effects, they're gonna date it, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But I think the story is timeless. It's still told today. Persecution of the unknown, like we were saying.
Right.
Maybe giving people a chance to prove themselves, and
the theme, I think, definitely holds up. And like you said, it's still a theme that is being told today. So,
and they had a fairly strong female character. I mean, granted, he did tell her to sit this one out, Lois. But I mean, she punched some dudes and she spoke her mind. So
I mean, given Phyllis Coates, like I said, I think she after watching this, I think she's now my favorite Lois Lane, and that's including Margot Kidder in the Superman movie. Especially the movie versions of Lois Lane, I'm not overly fond of. You had Kate Bosworth and Amy Adams, but after seeing this, I think she's just a very strong character. I'm kind of excited to actually watch the TV show now. I might give season 1 a chance, and because she did Lois Lane in season 1, and then I think after season 1 she maybe had another commitment, couldn't come back to this role, so they went to Lois Maxwell, who played Lois Lane in the serials. So I think I got that. I might be confusing that with the name Lois Maxwell. Might be someone else, but as far as whether I think it holds up or not, it definitely goes long stretches without Superman, and then during the chase, you even go a long stretch without Clark. So it's kind of a weird Superman movie.
Yeah, it was like 12 minutes of Superman. Out of 58.
But I enjoyed myself. I really dug it the first time I watched it. I enjoyed talking about it, here. It's probably not one I would recommend to the average moviegoer, but
yeah, it's sort of. I thought it was good to give me like an appreciation of how far we've come.
Yeah. So I think for genre fans, I think it's totally worth recommending and worth watching. So I think it holds up as far as it's an older movie. Effects wise, I like the little death ray thing at the end. I thought was pretty good. There aren't too many effects, so there's not
not a very effective weapon. But
no, but
you stay there for a good 20 minutes, and this thing will show you what for.
Yeah. So I wrote down some pros and cons.
Okay.
Just for overall. So I don't know if
we're kind of going through that now almost.
Okay. Well, let me just go through them real quick of at least what I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
My pros were the shed fire scene was very intense, and the first time watching it, I kept waiting. Well, like I said, I was surprised at how long it was going on without Superman intervening, and then was completely surprised that the Mole Man got out on his own and didn't have to be saved. So I liked that. The Phyllis Coates as Lois Lane, I really dug her, and George Reeves, his performance was. It's interesting because it's 180 degrees from how Christopher Reeve portrayed Clark Kent. Their Superman was kind of similar, I guess. Confident and just very...
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like... it's the Clark Kent aspect that's totally different.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
Reeves is more of a bumbling farm boy.
Right.
Where I don't even know if they brought up Kansas at all. Like
not at all.
I couldn't remember the entire intro they did, but he's more of a streetwise reporter in this.
Yeah. I think in the intro they say raised by farmers or raised by a farming couple or something like that. But I like the message kind of at the end, like it said, given the, talking about giving visitors a chance and just, or just Superman's message throughout the entire thing of, these people aren't here to harm you and we just gotta talk to them and things like that. I like that's how he kind of handles the situation. So the only cons I had were the introduction in the opening scene. I really could have done with maybe some of the Krypton stuff, some of the origin, which I went on to watch. I watched the first part of episode 1 of the actual season, and it does that. It starts out on Krypton with Jor-El. So I really think had they cut that and maybe added it to this, maybe give it a little bit of an intro or an origin, that could have helped.
I was just the opposite on that.
Well, yeah, and that's probably because you've seen
exactly.
How many Superman
it was
origins.
Refreshing to me.
Yeah. But no character introduction really either. You just have Lois Lane and Clark Kent drive up and there's no just that hero moment of seeing them for the first time.
Yeah, that was weird.
And really just the long stretch with no Superman. But it was 21. I have it written down. It's 21 minutes before you see him. So that's a con for me. But really, it's only three little points. So
yeah, I mean, I felt like this could have been cut into like a 30-minute movie. Honestly, with all the wasted time with the chase and
I see why they cut it down into an episode or 2-part episode of the series, but
because there was a lot I just felt was unnecessary
for sure.
It's like they had this much story, but they needed to stretch it out to fill the allotted hour or so.
Right.
So it seemed like they just wasted a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, what would your I don't know if you did out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your rating?
See, it's always tough with an older movie, I think. But I honestly don't think I'd watch this again.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a 2.5.
Okay. Based
on the fact that I'll probably not watch this ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good, but if you're only going out of 5, I'd say 2.5, because 3 is, a good movie.
Right.
And I can't say that this was like a good movie. It was an all right movie.
Okay.
That's my rationale anyway.
Right on. I think I obviously like this a lot more than you did. I gave it a 4 out of 5. So
you liked it a lot more.
I would watch this again.
Yeah.
Maybe fast forward through some of the parts, but I really dig George Reeves as Superman. I like those moments. I could kind of do without the sheriff stuff, and I might fast forward through some of the chase, but I really dig that. His name is Jerry Marin. His performance, just as that mole man who's being chased,
one in the shed.
The one in the shed. Yeah, his performance there I thought was probably the best performance of the movie.
And he didn't even say a word.
And didn't say a word. Didn't have to. But
it did make me interested to see other episodes. But, like, I wouldn't watch this
again. Sure, no, I get that. But
I think I've seen it.
Right,
that's all I need.
Yeah, and it
doesn't have rewatchability, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see how you could give it I could give it a higher rating based on the fact that it's the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of it throughout the whole.
Yeah, it's hard
genre.
Not comparing it.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm going to say something else is like a 4 later on that really is not.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I guess if I'm thinking about it in that way...
You're thinking about it more isolated.
Individually, that's true. That's why I would give it a 4. If I'm comparing it to other movies, I wouldn't rank this as high as another movie that I love, so...
I'm trying to... I mean, that's part of the thing.
I guess thinking about it that way, I'd probably go more of a 3.
Yeah.
A solid 3.
Because I don't want to look back and say I gave, the 70s Superman a 3 and this a 3.
Yeah,
They're really not.
That's a good point, yeah.
I was thinking more long term.
That's a good way to look at it. And actually, I think looking at it that way, I will change my rating to a 3 out of 5.
But I understand you're isolating it. It makes sense. Yeah, we'll figure this out.
Yeah, no,
it's the first real episode.
That's right. So
deal with that, people.
Yeah, get off our backs.
Jeez.
God.
All 2 of you?
Yeah.
His wife and mine?
Yeah.
But,
so what's next?
That's a very good question. We were debating that before we started.
Yeah, because we could go the route. We're going to try and do everything in order. And looking at our list, the 1966 Batman the movie is next. And then... I kind of threw it out there to Patrick, maybe do we want to add the James Bond movies to our list of movies? Because we're kind of deviating from strictly doing comic book movies. We want to just represent the entire nerd culture, geek culture.
And it'd be a nice change of pace.
So could be. So
looking at guys in tights all day.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Maybe talk about heroes that aren't, aren't superheroes all the time. So I don't know. Do we want to do some James Bond next?
I'd be down with that.
All right. So the next one we do will be Dr. No. I believe Dr. No came out in 62 or 63. So
we're jumping ahead a bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and
there's a big gap.
Obviously, we're skipping things like some of the other serials that came out. There were other movies before this, Flash Gordon and... things like that, and a lot of those old pulp heroes that...
Can't wait for the 80s Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Just the theme alone.
Yeah.
Flash. Sorry.
No, that'll be... Yeah, we don't have the rights for that.
I'm sorry if your ears are bleeding right now.
So, but yeah, some of those movies are just going to be really tough to get a hold of. And a lot of them are going to be TV movies. In the 70s, there were just a ton of the Superman or Spider-Man TV movies, the Incredible Hulk TV movies. We'll probably skip a lot of those. They're...
Yeah, we don't want to make it hard for you to find.
Yeah, we're going to try and keep it fairly mainstream. And then maybe if there's a request later on down the road, we can always go back and cover something that maybe we overlooked or just weren't able to get our hands on. So next movie is going to be Dr. No. That'll be the first outing as James Bond. And I don't think we're going to count the original Casino Royale that came out, I think, in 1954, which had Woody Allen, Peter Sellers, David Niven, I think. It's pretty wacky, but it's technically the first James Bond movie, but
not as we...
It's not in the broccoli. It's not in that canon of James Bond movies. So
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm aside from comics, I know a little bit about James Bond. So that should be fun.
Okay.
Got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, citizens, join us next time for our exciting look at James Bond.
You're welcome.
I'm leaving that in.
Please do. It's my scat singing.
I'm leaving this in too.
Oh no. That's cool.
All right.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Greetings, citizens. This is Travis. We realized that we forgot to mention that at the end of every episode, we're going to try and play the trailer for the following episode. So I'm going to drop in the audio of the Dr. No trailer from 1962. So enjoy. We'll see you next time.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
When you carry a 00 number, it means you're licensed to kill, not get killed.
Welcome to Jamaica, Mr. Bond.
News of my arrival leaked. Who are you working for?
We didn't advertise it.
What else do we know about this Chinese gentleman?
Nothing except his name, Dr. No.
I'm a member of Spectre. World domination. Same old dream.
Why is he still alive?
Our attempts failed.
We're not going to fail him again.
I thought you'd turn up sooner or later. Very clever, Mr. Bond. It's a Smith & Wesson, and you've had your 6.
What are you doing here? Looking for shells?
No, I'm just looking. I thought there might even be a place for you with Spectre, and I'm flattered. I prefer the revenge department.